this, it's this joy. Hang on, let me clear my thing. This joy-filled life, and you're going to do underscore in between each word. But that is just what I had before I started using Instagram as my business platform. I was mainly on there because I have 2 teenagers, or I did. And so when I started out, I had like 300 followers. I had it private. And then when I started to try to be strategic with it, I made it public, and then went to public and went up to about 500, and then really started honing in. And pretty much mostly what I do now is reels. And I went all the way up to 16,000. I guess it was a little over a year ago, maybe. And I'm hovering about 15,600, which I'm happy with that, because some were bots and things like that. And then some you have to block because they're inappropriate. But I'm really happy with where I'm settled. The dust has settled, and I pick up followers here and there, and I lose followers here and there, but it's staying solid at 15,000. And Instagram actually pays me now, but that wasn't the goal, and that's not the goal still. The goal still is for me to grow my Plexus business. But most of the time, my jam is health and wellness. That's what my master's is in. So that's my niche, or whatever you want to call it. And so that's what I post reels about. I've never paid for followers, and I've never paid for trainings, but I do follow some people like Brock Johnson. And I get tips here and there, like looking at what they do. And so that's kind of how I do it. And I think the biggest thing is, it's like with anything, with your supplements or anything, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with it and show up daily. And I show up 3 to 5 times a day, but I'm not always spending time making a reel. And I'm not one of those girls who changes outfits. They say you should, but I don't sit there and change outfits. If I make 10 reels in a day, I keep on the same shirt and I just spread them out. Sometimes I'll post 5 with the same shirt on or something else, but I'm always taking videos. So what I'm going to show you today is basically how to do this simple reel for those of you who might not know how to do it. And the easiest thing, if you're kind of apprehensive about doing a reel and you're not comfortable showing your face or doing crazy stuff like I do, it took a little while for me to do that. And now I feel like I'm in a really good spot of being who I am. I'm quirky and I don't care what people think, and I just want to have good, clean fun. So people can tell that. And I think you need to not stress about if the reel's perfect. Just post it. And I don't stress. I don't care on Facebook either if my post gets 5 likes or 500. I leave it. I don't delete it unless I've made a huge mistake, that it said something I didn't want it to say, or it had a bad word or something and I didn't want it to have a bad word in it or something like that. But I do leave little errors, and I learned that from watching someone. It gets you more engagement. People love to correct you. They love to chime in and give their 2 cents. And if you can let that roll off your shoulder and not be offended by it, it's great engagement. It really is. And, you can thank them for it and all the things. Even people, I've only had a few people say ugly things because I am in my 50s, and I've had a couple of girls who were probably in their 20s and saying, well, she has so many filters and what have you. And I'm like, hey, would you like to know which filter I use? Because this one's my favorite one. It stops them right there. And then but it gets great engagement. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share. Nikki, can you share? Let me see if I can share the screen. I can't share the screen. I was going to show you guys because I recorded it. Nikki, can you share the screen? If not, it'll be easier than just showing my phone. Maybe she left. She probably left.
I updated it so you can share now.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to share my screen so I just kind of screen recorded so that you guys can see. Oh, sorry. I just got back from going to Ruby's on the Rise. Let me open Facebook because that's where it is. In my messenger, but I want to show you guys basically how I do it, and I do it pretty quick. I had a girl at Ruby's on the Rise say, man, you're so fast, slow down. And it's just second nature for me. I'm trying to get my messenger to pull up. There it is. Okay, I'm going to close that. And so I'll show you guys real quick. I think, where's my name? Are you guys having bad weather? Because I am, and I think that's making the internet slow. All right. Okay, I'm going to talk you through this because I don't think you can hear. So to make a reel, well, let me pause this real quick if I can. I'm going to pause and show you something on here. I don't know if you guys have yours set to digital creator or not, or professional dashboard. When I switched to that, that was the game changer that opened up the floodgates for me to really get just natural, genuine followers. I'm happy because I don't have a ton of Plexus followers. I don't want a ton of, I don't mind if you follow me and, you know, all the things, but my goal is to grow my business. And so I love that this is pure, genuine, most of my followers. And I can also see in my professional dashboard that it's about half and half women, half men. And I'm happy with that. I'm also happy that it's not a ton of Plexus people. And so if I had 600, I might have 600 Plexus followers, but I doubt I even have that many. So I'm happy with that. But you can also see on this professional dashboard where I'm doing the little cursor that it shows that I've reached 330,000 accounts in the past 30 days. And it even shows you graphs. I can't click on here, but on my phone, I can click on it. It shows you how many people you're reaching. And that's the goal. It's not the likes, it's how many people you're reaching and that see your message. And then I see an uptick in my story watching, which is where I try to sell. And so I'm going to punch play again to create the reel. So everybody get your phones, or if you're taking notes or what have you, because I'm going to go through how I make a reel. And then I've just learned by making mistakes and just trying to figure it out myself, how to make them even better and more catchy or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to punch play and you're going to click that little plus button at the top right. And so then I'm going to hit on reels. And once you get on reels, it pops up. That's my office right there on my desk. And so the first thing I personally do is I go to the little button, the bottom left, the plus sign, which brings you to your camera roll. This is my camera roll. All the recents. I just selected this video. We were at the air show this weekend. And so I selected just this video to show you. Let me pause it right there and tell you one thing that I've learned. 5 to 10 second videos are the best ones that keep people's engagement, because Instagram, the way they do it is they watch to see, or their system can see if someone just watches a few seconds or the whole thing, and it gets a higher rating that way and all the stuff. And so the more engagement and all that, but 5 to 10 seconds is about people's attention span. There are some I do longer, but I mainly do reels, and I don't know, at least 3 a day. And at the height of doing it, I'm kind of slowing down a little bit because I've been busy, are 5 a day. And then when I was really, really trying to bump it up as far as followers and things like that. So the first thing I'll do is click on that, bring up my camera and select it. Then I go up here to the audio on the top right where the little music icon is. And if you see that little purple line by the big white button, that shows that I've added some content. So I either added a photo or video. That was that flag video I showed you. And then I go to audio and it'll pop up, and I'm going to show you right here. It may play music too, because I recorded that on my phone. So yeah, so the thing that pops up here are the trending songs or songs recommended for you, or if you want to search. So I'm going to search because I want something with Texas, with the, because it's Texas flag and stuff. So I'm going to search in the search bar. I'm going to type in Texas up here and search for songs that have Texas in it. And then here I see all these songs, and then you can tap on the right hand side. You can tap on it. Let me see if it's muted. I don't know if you guys can hear anything or not, but it'll play the song. Then I want the Take Me to Texas. So I selected that. And then it starts you, there's a little red dot right there, and it starts you where they recommend you start with the music, and it just starts you there. That big white line is how much it's going to play, and you can listen to it. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it either now. Or you can scroll it. You just swipe it with your finger, just play with it. It's not going to hurt anything. And you can scroll it and start where you want to, if you know the song and you know some wording where you want it to start. I want it where they recommended. So I'm going to put it back to that. And then you're going to click up at the top right. You'll click done. then at that point, you're going to be right back where you were. You've got your video in there and you've got music on there. If you decided you wanted to add some more photos or video, you would click at the bottom left and go to your camera roll again and add something else if you wanted to make it longer. Because as you add things, that media, it'll fill up that pink line all the way around, and that's how much you can add in there. But this is about 10 seconds. So we're going to go on and complete the reel. And then now, if you could hear it, you would be seeing the video and you would hear the music playing with it, and you would be watching it to see if that's what you wanted. And there's me and a friend of mine. She's on here, Nadine. And if you notice, there's a Texas right here. I put that because I didn't want the license plate showing, since I'm always careful about the security thing. I don't post pictures of my kids where they go to school and college. And I don't post too much of my kids anymore on here, and because it is public, and I try not to do location unless I'm on vacation somewhere, or like in Hawaii, I didn't post it until I was like gone from, the waterfalls, and I was back on the other side of the island and stuff like that, just for security purposes. That Jenna, I think, was at Ruby's on the Rise, and she was talking about social media, and she said that she made that mistake by posting her home and all the things. And she said somebody showed up at her house one day. She said it was a Plexus ambassador, but still, that's weird. And so you really don't want to post, and she didn't know them. So that being said, you kind of want to be careful with the security on that if you have it open. And so that's why I put that Texas thing over it. And that's it. You're ready to go to the next thing. It's that simple to do it. And then at this point, where it says write caption, you would write whatever you want to say, like you would on a Facebook post or something. And let's see, I don't remember what I put. Oh, Texas big trucks and flags fly high. I don't know, it's just stupid. And I will tell you, the shorter the better on Instagram on those things. And then the other thing that I always make sure I do, it was like making it pretty, look on your profile grid, look pretty. And now that is not, doesn't even matter. And it makes sense because most people do not go to your profile to look and see how pretty your pictures are or how much they match or, all those things. They don't. They're scrolling in their feed and they're seeing the videos. And that's what Instagram is bumping up the most, is your reels. So I will post a carousel once in a while, which is a grouping of pictures, just to break it up once in a while. But if you look at my feed, it's like splattered with just random reels. And then I always edit the cover. So you click on edit cover, and that little box that's white, you can scroll it anywhere you want. And I wanted the truck as the picture, but you can also click on the plus sign down below and you can add an actual picture if you want to. And I do that a lot of times too. And then I click on the top right where it says profile grid, because that's going to show you what it's going to look like in the square, and I adjust it up because sometimes when I do like just a body picture, like a bust, if you don't go in here and edit it, it cuts off half your head or something. And so I just go in, click that, move it up. You just drag it with your finger. You can't see me doing that, but that's what I'm doing, is dragging it with my finger. And then it's ready to share. And then you just hit share. And sometimes you, what do you call it? If it's something crazy, some people are nervous about posting and all that kind of stuff. I recommend you start with, if you like plants and that's your little thing you talk about, then go video some plants and put it to music, and then write something, and maybe you'll get a bunch of followers that love plants. I don't know, whatever your niche is. And I think that's all I have on here. I'm going to stop the share as far as that's concerned. And then the rest is kind of simple. That's it. That's pretty much, I try to change my profile picture, just like I do my Facebook one. People probably think, oh, she likes to change, pictures of herself. But I read somewhere, and I think it's true, I've picked up a lot of followers on Facebook now as well. And it's just changing up, like switching things up. And so I change that once in a while. I will change up, edit this, I don't even know what you call it, my bio, I guess you could say. I will change that a little bit, but I try to keep the message the same, just to change things up. I don't change my niche, but I just change what I'm doing. So I'm going to stop the share now. And so that's pretty much the simple basics of it, but it is a matter, I call it, as Nikki would laugh at this, but I call it like a numbers game. You got to post more content, because it's like with me on Facebook, never have I really gotten a ton of likes. And once you get past not worrying about getting a ton of likes, it's not what matters. The best thing I ever did was switch to professional mode, even though I have it set on still on private, unless I put the public post up there on Facebook, because my posts have stayed true. Like when we were missionaries and I would make a post of our kids, I get like 10, 12 likes, my family, you know, and that's okay. Same thing with my Plexus posts. I don't get a ton of likes, but now in professional mode, I can click on the insights. And so say the one I made about my husband and his latest blood work, I don't remember, it got like 40 likes, which is that's big for me to get 40 likes. But the better thing for me is not, I don't care about the likes. I care that I get my message in front of people. And on the insights, I can see that it scrolled across about 400 people. It scrolled, people scrolled across it. Then the engagement was over 200 and something, which means over 200 and something people saw my message and they actually clicked on the pictures. They were probably clicking to zoom in on the blood work results. So that to me is better than showing the love and getting those likes. So if you can not get out of your head and not worry about people showing you the love on it, I don't care if I get 100 and something likes. What I care is that people get my message. And so that's kind of what I look at with the Instagram too, although most of my business is on Facebook, but I've gotten this is what the interesting thing is, I've gotten some of my business from people I know on Instagram, but they saw my reel and they didn't see my post about it on Facebook. And they're more on Instagram and, all the things. I have someone I'm talking to in Australia right now that's a friend of my brother's from college at A&M, and he's seeing my stuff on Instagram. And so there you go. I mean, so you got to be in both places and do different things. I do throw my Instagram reels over to Facebook, and Facebook has offered to pay me on that. I don't get but like $2 a month on that, although I am seeing an uptick on those reels being viewed and some of them being liked and getting more followers solely because of the reels. So I am throwing them on there. So anyway, it is starting to pick up, and I've been doing that the whole time, and I don't know why it is now, and I'm not sure about it, but I'm still trying to figure that out on the Facebook ones, because it's public. The reels are I always leave them public. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? Or, I mean, that's pretty much the basic, simple thing of it. So anybody have any questions? No? Okay, make a reel. Everybody needs to make a reel. And if you haven't, if you know how to make them, then you don't have to. But if you've never made one, you should make one right now and post it, and we'll all go check it out. But I'll post the one that I made. I actually haven't posted it, but make a reel if you haven't, or ask me a question. The other thing that I would tell you to do is, I don't spend a lot of time scrolling. I'm on a lot, but I don't spend a lot of time scrolling. And one of the things that I've learned to look for, and I do it sometimes when I'm exercising or taking a bath, is I will go to the reels, and I'll I will look through them, allow myself for 10 or 15 minutes, and I will go through them, and I will look at ones that have a lot of likes. But not only that, I mean, like in the thousands. And then I will also look and see the music. If it has the little slanted arrow beside it, I will look at that. And if I like the reel, I'll save it. If I just like the music and I don't really like what they're doing, I will save the music and then use it. So I'm not just starting from scratch trying to find a trending song. And sometimes I will tell you, sometimes that matters and sometimes it doesn't. I still haven't figured that part out. I just know I've posted a lot. And I know Brock Johnson was doing the same thing when they rolled out the pay for it. Of course, influencers who have just bukus of followers, I'm a little peon compared to, influencers. They are the ones who earn a lot of money, but really that's not our goal. Our goal is to really get more Plexus business. And so, I wouldn't say that I've mastered that. My goal was just to get a bunch of followers that weren't Plexus people so that I could have a bigger audience than I have on Facebook, because it is a private audience for that. So that was my goal. And so it's always trying to figure out and learn more. And I do find that a lot of people watch my stories that are followers on Instagram. And so, okay, I see questions and I'm not looking at that. Hang on. I'm not used to looking at questions in here. Are you getting more Plexus engaged